Trumpets belong.
I'm fine, dude.
So we've just come out of In-N-Out Burger for lunch. With a double, hence why we're all wearing caps and hats.
Yes, we just left Laguna actually, because we filmed a whole episode when the mic didn't work. So now we're back again.
Probably there's nothing more loserish than recording a podcast and then the mic didn't work.
Yeah, it was just, yeah.
That is ultimate loserishness, isn't it?
Yeah, and you nearly chucked
Whoa.
the GoPro on the floor, huh?
I just would have crushed it, yeah.
Yeah.
It is a bit annoying, but this one is going to be more refined and polished because I think it was quite a good podcast that you guys didn't get to see, but this one's going to be even better.
Dude, it was 45 minutes long.
Of swearing and cursing about how Bren got robbed. No, I didn't at all, did we?
You mentioned that once.
No, we didn't actually, did we?
No.
What did we talk about?
We summarised the trip.
I felt like there were some really good bits of the podcast that never made it.
Yeah. Like defying what Rampage is.
Yes.
Like, is it a slopestyle competition? Is it a free ride? Don't think it's either anymore. Do you?
What is it?
Yeah.
Single crown bikes with 120 mil of travel.
Honestly, if you moan, you have to have a clear picture of what the judging is even about, don't you? So
Yeah.
if you're against the result, then you have to know what you think of. So that was the question. Define what you think Rampage is.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's like it should be in its completely own category. Like we have downhill racing, we have slopestyle, we have dirt jump competitions. Rampage has to be free ride big mountain competition. And in my opinion, what I think it should be, everyone has to run their own line, so you don't get. I love the rules. Like at the minute, 2 diggers, 75 sandbags, no power tools, no outside assistance. I think that's great. I think it needs to go one step further and say no sharing lines. Then we're going to get 12. We're going to get however many athletes, 18 individual lines down the mountain to define their own specific style, and it's going to eliminate these huge slopestyle big jumps and landings, and people aren't going to be able to groom their lines as much because they're not going to be able to share. But I don't know, but then honestly, I just love the event and love being part of it. Not like being a lick arse, but it's just sick just being there, isn't it? And just like that was our 7th or 8th year, and we've always left with bit disappointed at the end result, but at the end of the day, like, we're walking away and we've had a sick time and we're stoked, huh? It was cool,
Mate, the fact that you're in one piece when you think there's 18 riders and three big crashes. Sea Dog's all good, obviously. G's banged up, Godsy's banged up. It's quite, it brings back the reality of what an event it is, eh?
Yeah, you want the lad science to work out, don't you?
big time.
And I think the lad science did work out.
Yeah, with a little 4-inch tolerance here and there. First one went in the middle but landed 4 inches from casing it. Second one I got blown but super controlled to the right, and 4 inches from the right hand side. And yeah, last one I did a Sui and really nearly cased it.
Hey, how weird it is that right now as we sit here, or right now as anyone listening to this sits there, there is that jump that we spent all that time on, and it's been ridden 3 times? 4 times in total, and it's just sat there. It's ready for you if you want it.
So as we said last time, submit the videos below and you can win a DMR bucket hat.
Replace your case though, guys, for a bit of etiquette, you know. If you case it, just patch it back up, ready for the next person.
Yeah.
So actually, this is quite a valid point. So the guys, and this is no beef because they're lovely blokes, but the guys who came 2nd and 3rd, at the end of their run, what do they do to finish off? They do a train down essentially what is meant to be a really gnarly run. How many people would follow Bren into your run, do you think?
I don't know. You'd have to be pretty loopy, I think.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, right, yeah, I mean, but then that's again, that just comes down to definition, doesn't it? Like, we've all got in our head a picture of what we think it's meant to be, like something that's hard to get down, that you can't relax down, that you can't
Not do a GoPro
down.
party train down.
Yeah, really. But then that's our
Go straight
definition,
on, Ollie,
isn't it?
And then head on the 73 north.
Okay,
So
thank
go
you.
underneath this freeway, then turn right after it.
Okay, no problem, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what's going on, and Carson and Van Steenberg's line was so sick, and their runs were insane. But it's just they went to go do big tricks, and they were both. And actually, do you know what? Thomas Chenon defined it pretty well. He was like, "Yeah, our lines we like doing laps on, and they're not actually gnarly to ride down, in inverted commas, but." Then you start doing big tricks and then it gets really gnarly. And he was like, our lines are like opposite to your line.
Yeah.
Where just getting down our line was like up at, nightmarish. But I don't know. That's what this is actually. We don't know. We're just doing our own. Which that brings me back to why it's so hard to judge. And I do feel sorry for the judges. It's.
Yeah.
They're obviously going to make mistakes here and there, which is we all make mistakes, and I, in my opinion, I don't think that end results should have been that way. I definitely don't think I should have won. I just think a few things should have been mixed around a bit, but it is how it is, and it's their interpretation of and they're the judges. So at the end of the day.
I mean, the fact is we're 2 days after the competition now. It's 2 days, there's so much gone on. 2 days after the competition, so it's given us a bit of time to analyse something and certainly reflect. And I think the biggest thing to reflect on when you look at social media and like other sort of things is Bienve certainly cleaned up on the best trick, but maybe he shouldn't have been judged as far down as possible.
Yeah, I mean, there was loads of people. We could go through a list of people, Bienve, Janon, Emile, that we thought were judged low, but I sort of don't know what the point is. I think it still comes back down to like what even is it? What's it, and what direction does it want to be going in? Does it want to be? I remember a while ago they had like a load of when we first came, there was always like wooden features pre-prepared. So for instance, actually the canyon that Bienve front flipped, that was a wooden feature when Kelly McGarry flipped it.
That's the OG, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. So Rampage used to provide like certain features, and people would like aim their lines.
Well, that was Zink's backflip. That was the Icon Sender.
Yeah, exactly. But then there was this sort of move away from that and a move towards Big Mountain, I think, at one stage, and they sort of canned off those sponsored features, and I at the time read that as like, all right, that's where they want to move.
Natural.
Yeah, move towards. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ollie, carry on.
I'll carry on. Like, dude, I don't know. And Emile said the same thing. He was like, I need to be able to practice my run. Like you only did one run top to bottom.
Yeah.
You only used every feature once.
I mean, would you not want to go over and over the battleship loads of times? Look quite a fun feature.
Went over that over and over in my head when I was sleeping and waking up in the middle of the night, and 50% of the time it went well. The other 50 fell off the cliff and died.
I mean, maybe think of the live feed. Quite a lot of people sort of do say that it doesn't give the true reflection on what that feature is. Sort of explain to the crew how gnarly that was.
Well, it is actually only like a 5 metre jump on and then a 2 metre jump off. But on the top is, if you were to go right, you're certainly body bagging it home, huh?
It's a body
Pretty
bag,
much.
right?
Yeah.
Right,
If you go right, you're a body bag.
what are we saying left?
I don't know, just a couple of femurs, I reckon.
Probably a couple of femurs, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
probably a couple of femurs, yeah.
So, and I really struggled that when we first got to Rampage, that was a feature we wanted to take on. I went through like previous footage from last year, and that was like a standout thing that people were riding underneath. And like we've always wanted to bring out big features that are recognisable and iconic, which I think we've done pretty well in the past. So we went straight to there. And then annoyingly, so did G and so did Godsey, and we'd never previously shared a feature because we just wanted our own ways. We're just doing big mountain top to bottom. But it turned out that we had to share a feature with, and unfortunately G had a mishap, so he wasn't in the final. But we got to share it with Godsey and his team, and that was actually a cool experience, like working with those guys. Like
Actually worked out real well.
yeah, it worked out super well. Like I've talked about it in previous vlogs or everything, but that guy's an absolute G. He is a composed, modest gangster.
Yeah.
And I'm so gutted that he ended his rampage. For me, that was a clear winning run.
I think him in practice was by far strongest, huh?
Overwhelmingly over anyone, I think. Like he was didn't put a foot wrong, and so gutted to see him mess that up and mess this probably next couple of months up. But yeah, sharing with Godsey was super sick. Like he was a G and composed. He tested the feature, which I was super nervous to do. But like I saw him go up to the top of the hill and like take a few run-ins to it. And then I didn't see him jump it the first time, but I was sort of scrambling up the hill because I wanted to be involved and be like, and not for him to have done it and then just go away, and I'm just like left there to almost guinea pig it myself. So I was going up there to pick his brain and to science out with him, but that guy's a ledge. He did it. I think he did it twice, and then I just walked straight up and then just dropped in straight away. Didn't take any run-ins to it and cased the shit out of it.
Which I don't think anyone really got on film. Oh, they did.
Yeah, a couple of people did. GoPro, RedBull got it on film, and I smashed my legs so badly into the back of the seat, bucked like that.
But obviously the GoPro doesn't show it. That's what's sort of annoying.
No, but yeah, got that done. That was a huge. That's what I think. That's the gnarliest. No. Unfortunately not. Got another hour. One of the gnarliest features I've ever ridden in my career, I think. Just like it is certain. Like on the canyon gap. Like if I'd jumped left, it would have been death. If I'd cased it and fallen back in, it probably would have been
Death.
Yeah. But like carrying the forward momentum over the canyon, I'm always thinking of good scenarios that you can jump off, you can get an extra couple of meters if you jump off and bail. If I jumped right in case of bank, I'd have probably gone over the bars and just broken the collarbone or whatever. There's always nice scenarios, whereas on the battleship there's no nice scenarios falling off that. Like it's literally you get effed up.
Also I feel like the crash is always going to be awkward. It's always going to be one of those ones where you're like, and you make it worse. Like there's no, like, you can't lay the bike down. You're always going to be like propelling yourself. No, exactly.
Actually,
horrible.
I think that's maybe what was creepy about it. You can't normally when you crash, you want to get away from your bike and jump away from it. Jumping away from your bike on there is jumping off a cliff.
Yeah.
So you want to stay with it and just, oh my god, I'm so glad.
Well, even when you think of the canyon with Emil's line made your line so difficult and had to be so precise. Like the practice runs were pretty scary, were they?
Yeah, I mean we could only roll in because there was such a short distance between the landing and the lip. We could only roll. I couldn't roll in full pit speed because I had to brake before I fell in. So it was like I did two roll-ins to it, and we adjusted. We spent so much time doing micro adjustments. Me and Ollie looking from the side, asking a few other people's opinions, and we got it so dialed in the end. It was just because we were trying to avoid a G out in the middle between the landing and the lip. So yeah, we got it dialed, and then the third run in at it, I just thought I had to just go as fast as I can, hope I make it over Brett's berm and pull up as hard as I can. And
that's some of my favourite footage from every single rampage. That one, yeah, so cool. Right, there's like loads of questions that I've seen like repeated over and over, and one big one was, why didn't you go up for your second run?
In the morning, basically my run would have been 100% complete if I'd done a flip tuck no hander on the last feature, which is a big jump, which I just ended up just doing a flip. So I think that could have pulled in a few extra points, and then that was me sort of wrung out. Like there's nothing left I could have really achieved in our run. But I had a massive crash that morning, which no one really knows about, trying a flip tuck in the hand. I over-rotated, had to chuck the bike, smash my head into the side of the bank, hurt my arm a little bit. So throwing my run away with a flip no-hander at the finish, if I'd have crashed, I'd have been pretty pissed off at myself. I just hadn't put enough time or practice into that trick. So I didn't really feel I had much more to give, knowing obviously now in hindsight that I was only 0.4 off of third place is annoying, because I should have just put like a one-hander in somewhere, or ridden down the ridge one-handed or something, you know, would have given me 0.4. But equally, I'm super happy to be behind Storch and Van Steenberg. Those guys' runs were insane, so sick. Very different to ours, but as we said before, there's no right or wrong really, and the judges interpreted it how they did.
And I guess you got to remember, before your second run, we witnessed 2 big crashes.
So we saw a good friend Godsey have a big one, dislocate his wrist. Don't really know what that. Apparently his wrist went back in, but he's fractured a small bone. Okay, he's fractured a bone. So I would be super surprised if he didn't or hadn't. Yeah. And then we saw good friend Sea Dog, who had been hanging out and digging with all, and trained with him before Rampage a bit. See him have a huge one, and thankfully he's okay as well. So just seeing those 2 things, a little bit lame. It was also my 1-year-old daughter's birthday, which was kind of in the back of my head a little bit on that exact day, and I just thought, I don't know, I didn't have an awful lot more to give. There was a lot of risk. I really didn't want to ride the battleship again. And we were content, we were stoked, everyone was in good shape, and obviously like how it progressed into not getting third I was majorly not gutted about, just like it was a bit like a sinky feeling, you know. But honestly, I think we kicked up enough fuss and had such a good time, and we achieved what we wanted to do and more, and we had, you know, what rad time.
And we've got loads of crap videos online from it as well, on all our channels, just all boring off. But anyway,
including this one.
So if you're still here, we're just going to take a little ad break for Ollie's hair growth for his beard, baby. Or
but I just want to big up you boys as well, because it was like we're digging from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Ollie, you got to get on the other lane. 7 at night, crusty, tired, shipwrecked first, whatever. And we'd take time to film, like, and make videos. So as soon as we got back from the Rampage site, it'd be dark. We'd go for dinner in our work clothes, get back to the hotel, export footage on the computer, edit it, export it, then load it onto the internet and do all that rigmarole, just because we loved it, and to show you guys what was going on, which I think was super important, and you need to see, because I think in the live feed you get a bit of a biased view of what they want to see, and maybe us having monster helmets and stuff wasn't great for the putting us too much on the live feed, maybe, I don't know, but I think we deserved a bit more in there, especially the efforts that you guys put into, and Ollie especially put into that big bloody
in his hole, Ollie's hole. Loved
Ollie's
being
hole,
in the hole.
chipping away. You should have seen his hands, insane.
Well, likewise though, I would say there are a few riders that put in as much work as you. I don't know if anyone can see how high that guy's handlebars were. They're like
above his head.
They're the ODub bars 50mm rise, because they are available in a 50mm rise.
Not the 750mm rise.
It might be the 750s, yeah. But yeah, you.
They're stopping up here, Ollie.
Oh, that'd be a viral clip.
Whoa, that was close.
How Bren puts the work in over other riders.
The work in, right?
And we don't like normally bigging Bren up, but for once he can actually get a bit of a shout out, because
very thankful he gets it done, and he really does graft. And like, when you look around the hill, it's really clear which riders put in loads of work, and which dig teams actually. Like, a lot of people A lot of people didn't have as much work to do as we did anyway.
Because it was their second year and stuff.
Yeah, but a lot of people also just don't. They just chill a bit more and they just go at a nice pace. And we don't. We go at a horrific pace.
Well, we're literally arthritic every single morning. I think a number of people don't see. You see the fluffy side on live TV. What they don't see is it's literally 6:30 in the morning. We get up, we're having a little breakfast, straight to the site. We're literally on site all day, apart from 2 days where we treated ourselves to a coffee. Literally on site all day with a small lunch break, and then dig until dusk at 7:30. Don't get back till 8:30, and then dinner, and then straight to bed. And we got this for
And then the same again, 10 days in a row.
Day.
Dude, how gnarly is race day morning when we have to wake up at 4:30? Or when was it? It was actually 5:15. We had to wake up, and you have to drive in. I put my knee pads on at 5:15 in the morning.
Actually, insane.
And drive in, and you're just driving in the pitch black, obviously, because you get to the venue when it's still dark, because you have to practice from 7:15 till 9:30. And then doing the gnarliest shit you've ever done, and then you go up for your thing. Anyway, yeah, that was just I remember actually that from the previous one has been so horrible as well. It's only an hour earlier than we'd normally wake up, like 5:15. But it's just like what's ahead of you and what you got to achieve.
Well, you think a number of people who watch this probably race enduro and downhill, and first run at practice at 8:15 in the morning, you're riding at 60%, just chilling, 70%. Yeah. The difference is with Rampage, if you rode at 60%, you're not getting over the canyon, are you?
No. Well, I'd get 60% over the canyon.
I don't even think you're cased, mate. You go straight down like the old cartoons.
Plus, there's zero warm-up. There's nothing you can practice on and have fun. I think you had it good because we shared a feature with Clemens at the bottom, the step up, so it's really useful to have that, wasn't it? Because then you could just do a run of that before you.
And shout out to those guys, grafted, the Russo brothers, Daniel and
they bring the hype.
They brought the hype. I mean, a bit too much scooter playing, but I was enjoying it for the first 7 days. And Sea Dog, a magician. He helped us out with a few bits and bobs. He's an amazing trail builder.
Do you know what? Sea Dog's a numbers man, and just when he came over, because we'd already looked at the canyon, we'd already actually built it exactly how we thought it should be, and Sea Dog came over he's got one of those measuring tools, Bosch measuring tools, and when he measured it and told us it had 0.5 of a metre drop, it was 60 foot long, whatever, and he kind of gave us the nod and he kind of signed off the lad science a little bit, didn't he?
He measured how high the run-in was as well, and how much vertical we were dropping, and Cedar was sort of like, I reckon as long as you pat in, as long as there's no other thing that's gonna take any speed, he said you should be able to make it over. So we were just like, yes, let's go.
I mean, he's the guy, isn't he?
He's rad, yeah.
Explain about Sea Dog. What's his sort of day job apart from being a pro rider?
Pro rider and insane trail builder. He's responsible for all the Dark Fest jumps, spending loads of time over there. And he does loads of trail building. So yeah, he knows, and he's a numbers guy, which we're not. So it was cool to have that little bit of reassurance, I guess.
It's good though. I'm really pleased. Obviously, I'm really pleased Lad Science worked out. But there was, I was glad you weren't reading all the comments as we were building up, because there's a lot of tippy-tappy internet fingers doubting the canyon. And if you're like, I'm building a jump for my best mate, and then I'm getting these comments that are like,
you're trying to kill him.
Yeah. And it's not going to work. That's definitely not going to work. These guys have a death wish. This is stupid. And it's not like you're not already considering whether something's possible enough. So,
well, as well as that, Bren, believe it or not, has got a brain. I'm sure he'd tell you if he didn't want to jump off it.
Absolutely, but you can't. I don't ever want to read the comments or look at stuff, but you can't help just taking them on board. And I was really pleased that you weren't reading them, because
I didn't read any before, which not for any reason apart from we just didn't have time, but. Then you, Tippy, and a few other people afterwards, like, dude, there was so many people that had no faith in you guys doing that. So it makes it even better than when you went and did it.
Well, the video when you landed was insane. I think me and Ollie were both crying like idiots.
But it's hard to really, like when we say lad science as a joke, but it's like all you do in biking is you look at something and decide whether it's possible.
Yeah.
So that is essentially what lad science is. You're not it's not how it works. It's not numbers. It's not really, is it?
No, and you just dig until it does work.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what
every
happened.
athlete out there has to, there has to be a certain part. Like the huge part of when you get there is like working out time management and energy management of what's feasible to dig in the allocated time. Like, and that's a lot of people. That's one of the hugest parts of when people don't either crash or don't finish a line. Is because they've messed up that science.
Too much time on one feature.
Yeah, exactly. And also you have to really, really like calculate what features are worth spending time on, which I think we've got down to pretty a good T, really.
I think the beauty me and Ollie certainly had having you is the fact that you like things raw. Going back to the whole Rampage thing, you had a whole ridge line that was pretty much untouched, which is...
Yeah, we didn't do one thing to it.
Do you know what's really good as well, having you, is that you know that if there's out of their lineup of riders, you more than anyone can get as much speed out of a run-in as physically possible, and I really believe that across the board.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're just so good at that if you build something you think's possible, I know you're gonna be able to make it possible if it is, if you know what I mean. So I have a lot of like faith in, like, I don't know, if like that canyon was close to not being possible. I would say that's the closest we've come to making something that's not possible, but we sort of knew that, and we knew it's why we'd spent so much time on it. So
if we explain the story of the canyon,
please.
I think so. Obviously we found an original line. We were all a bit bummed about the battleship, or we were obviously going to name it King Charles.
But we were puzzling, dude, weren't we? We had nothing.
So we were literally walking around like headless chickens. We went to your original canyon gap, which what year was that?
That was the first year I ever went there, 2012.
2012. So we found like a step down thing that we thought would work, followed by a canyon.
Yeah, because you wanted a step down flip, eh? That's what you've been practicing.
Yeah, we learned step down flips a week before we came out, so it's kind of what I wanted to do. It would have been a bit of a shock for people to see. That's what we were trying to find as well. And then we found an original. The
original canyon was like, it was big, but it just didn't look big in where it was on the mountain and everything else. And then
right next to the actual canyon we did, wasn't it?
Well, we sort of all looked at it, and we just obviously we laughed, thinking poor old Brendan's finding himself however high up in the air. And then we just sort of, I guess, scienced it out. And the hardest thing was the fact that it was going across Reader's line,
Yeah. But might have made for it even gnarlier and better.
Exactly. I mean, because in an ideal world, you just want the longest run in to get maximum speed, and then you can think about doing other stuff. But the fact that you added like almost an on-off first made it insane, eh?
Do you know what, actually, it was such a weird thing. I never looked at the jump from the side properly. Every time I walked around it, I'd look at the floor. I'd only look at it from the top of where I was going to run in and from the lip.
You looked at it in the end though, didn't it? Like, I remember on your walk back.
And then I looked at it and I was like, whoa, that's insane. It looks completely unfeasible from the side, doesn't it?
From a lot of angles.
Yeah, from a lot of angles.
Even like slightly side on, stood on top of it, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, I never properly looked down into the middle or into the canyon. Just really sort of like, what's it called? Blinkers. I had my blinkers on.
Yeah. But like I think also whilst we were hanging out there when we hang out next to the canyon long enough, you start looking at it and it just completely changes. Yeah. Like even before you'd done it, I was looking at it as if 100% it was going to work, and I was like looking at it like, well, it looked on hard before you'd even ridden it for me, because we just sat there long enough and thought about it, obviously gone through it in our heads enough times that I was still super nervous first go, for sure.
Well, I think that's Rampage in general though, isn't it? Like the day one nerves of just walking on the side of a cliff is scary, and then gradually by the end of the week you're running up there with tools, and all of a sudden it's not anywhere near as gnarly, is it?
No, absolutely, yeah, you're completely right. Right, I've had a thought.
Enough about us, stand out at the performance.
Yeah, exactly. And what I was going to say was, in our books, what are the most crazy things that we saw from our perspective on the hill?
Definitely G's drop. In my opinion, not that I don't even know if I should give my opinion. It doesn't fucking matter. But it didn't. There was a. Nah, I'm not even gonna say it.
But it was on the edge of what's possible, wasn't it?
Yeah, and just like
insane.
the landing didn't look great to land on. If you'd landed on the sweet spot and there was no run out, just
so gnarly.
Yeah,
G is a gnarly guy, and he can bench press himself out a lot of
Dan
things.
to come out next year and put him in line and just say, look, dude, we need to finish this and make it feasible. But anyway, it's we all, like we said, we've all got different. But yeah, G's thing was pretty crazy to watch. I think for everyone.
I guess Straight won the toughness award, and I sort of felt like that is so gnarly, breaking your back and then coming back and doing something again. So that's pretty cool in a way, isn't it? Like, I think they and obviously Zinc, kind of when you talk about them, you end up talking about them together because they ran the same line. But like Zinc's flip that looked like he was flipping into the unknown, didn't it? I think that's what I like about Rampage, is when you are doing something into the unknown. I don't like it being too dialed. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's on the edge with huge consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Same with Bienve's front flip. He hadn't done it, and he brought it out for finals, and you know what it meant to him. He burst into tears at the end.
Yeah.
Like if you get down your Rampage run and you're like, yeah, all right, I've managed to do all of these things that I knew I could do separately.
Yeah.
And link it together.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's maybe a different thing. Maybe not what my definition of Rampage is.
Well, I think going back to Bienve, it was insane because the practicing that he did a couple of days previous, he overshot it. I think he tagged it slightly, and then all of a sudden, finals run, he absolutely greases a front flip. Insane,
2 in
eh?
a row. Perfect. Yeah, 2 in a row,
Unreal.
perfect. Yeah.
That's science.
Yeah, it is. Maybe Laddie, I don't know. It seems actually like science to me.
But I guess, like, thinking of Bienve, the reason why probably he hasn't scored as much as he sort of maybe people think he should get is the fact he shared with Godzi the whole line from the top, and there wasn't really too many testing
Makes
features.
Godzi, sorry to interrupt, even more of a G. Like, Bienve just came in and used the entire of Godzi's run, and Godzi's just like, Godzi's that confident and that sick in his ability. He's just like, yeah, okay, you can use it. So literally, Bienve didn't hardly do any digging, he just did watering.
Yeah.
The whole 2 weeks, and then he just rode Godzi's run. But obviously, they're doing different things. But
I mean,
makes Godzi such a G for me.
Because we sort of asked, who did we ask?
Full left lane if you want, Ollie. We've got 20 miles in there.
We asked one of the judges, like, if the digging sort of comes into it, and they didn't seem to think it did too much. And we sort of thought, well, if Emil sort of ended up doing Reeder's exact dialed run, surely that should be a podium contender, but obviously it wasn't.
I think it just gets too complicated, doesn't it? Because it gets too much like. If you think a slope style run is already difficult to judge, and they're all going down the same line, whereas now you've got so many elements, and if you add another, they have to draw a line, like, because then you could say, well, right, Bienve didn't dig. Not only did he not dig his line, but he didn't actually dig much, so we should knock him down. Like, imagine how complicated it gets. It has to be just judged on the run. I guess.
I completely agree with.
Yeah.
But we just get to see all the behind-the-scenes factors of everything, which is why we're so invested in it.
Yeah.
But equally, all the judges see all the behind-the-scenes as well, which is, I don't know, it's hard. I'm never going to say judging that event's ever going to be easy.
No, because it is, when you think of the two styles of rider, you've got you who likes it sort of raw and untouched, yet you've got the other side, which is just literally like a skate park, and it's almost like those guys probably can't ride down your line, which is all technical, but likewise you wouldn't be able to do some of the tricks that they do.
No,
so it's like
that's what makes it so hard.
Insane.
It's not right or wrong even, but yeah.
Do you know what's funny as well, right? So there were like standout, like, let's take Carson and Tom's runs, both came above you. They had such gnarly things on their runs, but it's like both of them, they landed so perfect that it almost like takes it in my head instantly. I'm like I know Carson has trained to get 3 drops down that perfect, So when he does them in his run, he's still scared. He doesn't want to do it, and it's not like fun, but it just looks so perfect. So it gives the illusion that it's easy.
Yeah.
And like the same with like Tom's. Was it a flat drop flip, or was it just, did it have a small lip? I can't remember, but it was massive.
Yeah.
So massive, and it does kind of give the illusion that, I don't know, both their runs were really big. And same with Emil's actually, which Emil trucked down that drop. That drop was really, really massive.
Unbelievable, because he did 3x up the first time, didn't he, off of it, and then 3 trucked. Actually, Emil is a complete robot, just landing straight on everything. What made me think that he's got a big lip, big step down at the finish. Not like step down as in a Rampage step down. Hard to explain. It's a big dirt jump, but it's a step down landing. And we turned up there one morning, he just did this insane big sick 360, and he was like under rotating ever so slightly, so he just pulled the bike straight around. Thing was just lined up perfectly, and I was just like, that is some insane robotic skill.
That's so true actually. Shout out Emil, because also on the finals day morning, he was having crashes left, right and centre, and it's like seeing that in the morning, seeing him like crash, work it out, move on, crash, work it out, move on.
Oh,
you see how much,
yeah.
Dude, yeah, so his long and low after his truck driver drop was actually, it wasn't a long and low even, it was like a 50-foot double,
jump.
yeah. He spun that a couple of times, crashed one of them. I mean, spinning that alone is so mad. And then, I don't know, he just worked everything out. It was that morning that he did all his, he did like quite a big chunk of homework in terms of like what he was going to do in his run, and I thought that actually really impressed me. I thought
he was underjudged.
Yeah.
I think he should have been up there. I think BMW should have been up there a bit.
Who's that?
That's the YT guy, I think. Don't know. Yeah, I mean thinks
of our hats on.
But
we got in our hats on.
Big shout out to Todd and the staff there this year. I think it was super well organised, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was super, helped by no wind in the finals, which makes everything a bit easier for them.
Hey, good idea. Let's wrap it up with all of our thank yous. Should we do that?
Big thanks to Todd. Who else? All the staff there.
Honda.
Such lovely people.
Honda, really.
Honda Motorsport US for giving us a buggy. That was such a treat, dude.
Really
Once we
helps.
get in there, then we didn't have to walk up the mountain. You can drive up a quarter of the way in the buggy, and that helps so much. So much.
We had a big thanks to the home crew who made it out. So that's Rue, Fowler, Ben, Francie,
Eves. Yeah.
Who else? We just had like a really good team, I think, this year of
yeah.
just like the homies. Thanks to them.
Made everything relaxing and like no pressure and fun to be around. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Big thanks to DMR for sponsoring our tools, because genuinely that's obviously quite a large part of what we actually got up to over the last couple of weeks. So thanks to DMR.
Made some cuzzy tools.
Digging holiday.
Exactly.
We're bringing them home as well for them.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So you might see them.
We've
Rampage tools.
given them an exclusive.
And what are the bars we were eating?
Oh, Sturka, yeah. Big thanks to them.
Striker.
Yeah. Pretty sure it's
This
Sturka,
where it's
yeah.
Psyker or
They're
something. 'Cause
really,
that's why.
They were really good. We used them actually loads, and we used the hydration
And
electrolyte.
this is not a sponsored ad. We generally.
Yeah.
Hopefully after this they will.
Yeah, exactly.
Fat wedge.
Yeah.
They kept me alive because I couldn't eat in the morning because I was too nervous and jittery. But I just kept those like rice bars. They're so good. Killed it.
I think probably me and Deeks want to shout out Melon because they kept. I've become Sunglass Ollie this
I
trip.
think so, mate.
I have, haven't I? And then also the neckerchief and the gogs in the mornings were like a must.
Dream.
Mornings and evenings, weren't they?
Stop the dust down, yeah.
Sorry for hijacking, but it's just true, you know. Thanks, Melon.
In and Out Burgers. We'll shout at them for hooking up the hats.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you two, generally, because we haven't had one argument in 2 weeks.
No,
We haven't.
That's actually, we haven't had one. Probably
That's
because,
so weird.
like, normally we have a little bicker about something, but we haven't had one.
Yeah, do you know what else is a testament to you two knobs? Is that I couldn't wait to get out of there and just be in the truck with you.
Yeah.
After all this time knocking about doing farts.
Truck was our little with good music. I was looking forward to the drives.
Our homage.
Oh, everything we came to do, we ticked off. Like, even as far as like after the event, I was like, I cannot wait to drive out this fire road in one piece with the boys. This is some good music. Get out of Springdale, out of Virgin, on the way to Vegas. I want an In-N-Out burger on the way. I want to be in Vegas, have a good time. Yeah, I mean, our Vegas trip was obviously embarrassing, and we just got there so tired.
Just so laddie and that.
Yeah, with that laddie, but did everything, just worked out sick. I'm so stoked. You boys killed it.
Exactly.
The last thank you is to you for following us on this journey. It's been actually so fun having all of the engagement and questions and stuff you sent in. Sorry if we didn't get round to them. Appreciate all of them. See all of them. Thank you.
Like genuinely,
Yeah.
we've all had it across social media, and it's you do these things, you don't really pay attention to how many people look at it, and it's made us realise how many people are sort of invested in the journey of sending Brendan over cliff jumps.
Yeah. Big thanks to everyone. Huge amount of supporting. We had some sick support. Really, really cool. Made the whole thing so worth it, regardless of result. Doesn't really matter. I was thinking the only thing you get from winning a better result, really, than what we got is this monetary, really.
Yeah.
And that's lame. So we're stoked. We're safe.
Well,
I've got
and
a
a
jet
trophy
ski.
for the garden.
You got a jet ski.
Yeah, and what have you got?
They'll come out very soon. Everyone will realise.
I could, yeah. I can buy some nice turf from my garden.
Exactly.
And
You've got some hosing to do when you get home.
Yeah,
actually.
I got some new turf in the backyard. Can't wait to mow that, dude. I'm so excited.
Not long now.
Not long now.
Right, we're about to pull up at the airport.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Peace and love.
Right, any questions? See you in a bit.
Big thanks. Ciao.
Oi, oi.
Go, 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 go.